Warren Buffett explains wealth and you won't believe it. The distinction between being rich and being affluent is broken out by Warren Buffett. He goes into further detail on levels of wealth and discusses what in reality constitutes a wealthy individual. Mr. Buffett is quoted saying that after one reaches a certain amount of wealth, there is very little added improvement in one's quality of life. Welcome to Luxury Matcher, the place to find luxury for people in your life.
Well, this, of course, is my opinion.
I mean, you could be wealthy in health, for example, and I agree with you that certainly there'd be nothing you'd value more than good health for you know, yourself and your family. But
Luxury Matcher agrees. There's no amount of money worth more than good health. Good health is more than an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Good health is a state of physical, mental, and social well-being. Good health equals good wealth. What does wealth mean to you? Mr. Buffett is wise. He speaks with the younger generation to pass along this wisdom.
the money makes very little difference after a moderate level. I tell this to college students that I talk to. I mean, they are basically living about the same life I'm living. You know, we eat the same foods. I mean, that I can guarantee you. And you know, there's no important difference in our dress. There's no important difference at all in the car we drive.
There's one difference in travel, though, for Mr. Buffett. He explains,
We equate on it. The one thing I do is I travel a lot better than they do. You know, net jets. So the travel I do a lot easier than they do. Everything else in their lives, it just, you know, I'll switch places anytime. It doesn't make any difference.
Warren Buffett tells us what really matters, the basics of life and family.
So then you get down to the things of health and who loves you. I mean, that's you know, there's nothing. If you have a minimum level of, I mean, you want to have enough so that you eat 3 times a day and that you sleep in reasonably comfortable surroundings and so on. But everybody in this room has that, and yet some of the people, by the definition that you've given, are obviously much more wealthy than others, and it's not measured by their net worth if you define it that way. And I don't disagree with that definition. I might not use the term wealth in describing it, but I'd certainly maybe call it well-being or something of the sort.
Mr. Buffett goes on to say, "No, I'll take health anytime." This man knows true wealth. He then goes on to talk about work, who you spend your work hours with, and how your work makes you feel.
Important thing even in your work, I mean, is to an extreme extent, it seems to me, is who you do it with. I mean, you can have, if you're going to spend 8 hours a day working, the most important thing isn't how much money you make. It's how you feel during those 8 hours in terms of the people you're interacting with and how interesting what you're doing is.
Warren says that he considers himself,
well, you know, I consider myself incredibly lucky in that respect. I can't think of anything I'd rather do, and I can't think of any group of people I'd rather do it with.
What wealth does not give you? Number 1, health, but you can afford great health care. Number 2, ethics, but you don't need to steal, lie, or cheat. Number 3, love. But if you are wise, you will know who to be with. What does wealth mean to you? Let us know in the comments below. Be well, live well. Thank you for watching.